Hello and welcome to my live Amazon Ask Me Anything Q&A sort of 1 hour sort of thing I'm doing today. Hopefully we're all live. Hopefully you can all hear me. Hopefully there's a few people joining us with a few questions. I hope this is all set up and working correctly. Hopefully you guys can hear me. If you're here, please say hello in the chat so I know everything is working okay. That would be very useful for me. Stream settings, make sure I'm actually streaming. Cool. So it's been a while since I've done an AMA or a Q&A around Amazon. The last one was a little bit, it was good session, but we struggled for questions a little bit, so I thought I'd give it a little bit of time. Cool. Hello, Lawrence. Hello, Card Collectibles. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you guys got any questions at all about Amazon, selling on Amazon, hello, Expedition Escape. If you've got any questions about Amazon, selling on Amazon, or if you're new, existing, anything you've got, ask me questions, feel free to ask. So this year I'm just shy of £30,000 profit for January 1st to today. So I'm literally about £40 shy of hitting £30,000 profit, which is kind of crazy, really. And if we put that into dollars, not that I think we've got any US people, but that's $37,000. Wow, God, the pound's doing terrible versus the dollar. So $37,000, £30,000. Cool. So I see we've got a question already. Hazmat application process. Oh, God, this has been a while since I've actually had to apply for Hazmat. There is a specific link. I'd have to search it, and maybe after this I'll post it, or if you message me, DM me in Discord, I can maybe find it. But I seem to remember you just applied and then they just accepted you. But I'll be honest, it's been ages since I've applied for that. But from what I remember, it only took a week or so, and it was a bit of a mere formality, really, in terms of selling hazmat items. So I think my account maybe was 3 or 6 months old when I applied, and I had no problems whatsoever. But I'd have to look. It's been a while since I've done that, since I've applied for hazmat. And hazmat can be a good category, by the way. So I do sell perfume. So as many of you know, I avoid health and beauty. As a general rule, however, I do sell perfumes, especially around Q4, and I sell like beauty gift sets as well, especially around Q4. Those are kind of what I do. Best 3 categories to sell in 2024. Well, I always say to people, if you're looking for a category, try and do something that you're interested in. There's no point me saying go into the sewing category if you're not into sewing, because it will just bore you to tears. So I always think, if you're really into bodybuilding or fitness, maybe that kind of stuff, fitness equipment, outdoor stuff, that kind of stuff might be interesting for you. If you're really into, video games, gaming, you can kind of do that, although that's a bit of a saturated market. The best ones I can say, I'll basically say you can do any category. The ones I just don't like personally, although there are many people that do a great job on it, is health and beauty. Toys and video games are a little bit tricky, but people again make a fortune on that if you know what you're doing. Just I've not had a huge amount of success on that one, apart from maybe Lego, things like that. Gaming headsets, I've had a terrible time with gaming headsets. I've made a lot of money on them, but I've also had a bunch of returns, and it sucks when you get back a £200 gaming headset and it's been used and it's got dandruff on it and it's disgusting. I remember I got one back. It was a Kingston HyperX wireless gaming headset, and it came back returned, and I looked at it, I thought, oh, this looks okay actually. It was like, oh, I'll keep this for myself, whatever. And then I opened it up, had a look, and it had dandruff all like on the top of the ear. It was disgusting, absolutely awful. And that was a £200 gaming headset, something like that. But yeah, 3 best categories. Yeah, just go for the ones that you are going to be interested in. But I think right now, garden outdoor is a pretty popular one. Could be a good one to go for. I'm trying to think what else, really. I'll have a think about some other categories. I always also say as well, not only don't you go for ones that interest you, go for ones that other people don't like. that could be a good thing as well. So thanks for the question at Expedition. If you've got any more, feel free to chuck them in. Lawrence is asking, what's your inventory split between OA, A2A, and other? It's a good question. I'm not entirely sure. I'd say it's probably 70% OA, 25% A2A, and maybe 5% RA. So OA, 70%, that's online arbitrage. 25% Amazon to Amazon stuff. I'm guessing here, maybe 25%. And then 5%, maybe 10%. I've got a bunch of boxes down. I can't point, apparently. Wherever that is that way, of Lego that I need to send in that I bought ages ago from Tesco. So that's not in Amazon right now. But yeah, so that's kind of the rough split, I guess. And this Lego here, I kind of knew it would tank. So I think that's either it was full of returns or Lego, I can't remember. But you can see I've got Lego on the shelves and stuff. I knew that would tank. So I was like, well, I'm just going to box it up and just hold it. So I labelled it up. Got it ready, but I just boxed it up and left it because I knew the prices were going to go down. So I thought I'd just be patient and wait, and I'll probably wait until Q4 really to sell all that, and the prices will have recovered by then. Everyone will have sold out, because what happened with that, the national sale, like a Tesco national sale for Lego, obviously everyone goes nuts for it. The prices tank basically because everyone gets hold of it. But as long as you hold, you're all good. But yeah, if you guys got any more questions, feel free to throw them in there. So I had some, while you guys are posting the questions, I'll answer some that have been in the Discord group today, this week or whatever. Someone asked me what the best Discord group is for doing Amazon to Amazon. We had a bit of discussion in the free Discord. If you guys are not in my free Discord, please join. The link will be in the description, hopefully. There's sort of two that I recommend, and that one of them is Resale Concierge. Again, link for that in the description. And the other one is Aftermarket Arbitrage. Again, link in the description. Both of those are pretty much the same when it comes to Amazon. I'm in sort of 3 or 4 groups for Amazon to Amazon just to make sure I capture every single morsel of ping that happens. But they all pretty much cover 95% of the pings, and then every now and then you'll get like one alert in one group that's not in the others. So that's why I'm in quite a few of them. But to be honest, it's a bit redundant, to be honest. But saying that you get one good ping, and it makes you money back on that month or more. And just being in more groups as well just opens you up to... one of the reasons I liked Resale Concierge, and I joined that originally, is because I thought it was good for having lots of members in there, although I didn't realise how many members it had. It's got way more than I thought. Is that if someone posts, if someone finds a really good lead that is not widely available. So it was a while back now, but someone posted a Argos deal for a DJI drone. They posted it at 6 a.m. in the morning. I was up early. And it was a misprice. I mentioned this in the report before. It was £828 is the price it should have been. They mispriced it to £228. This guy posted the lead. I was able to secure 4 of them from Argos. Went to collect them, and I made £500 profit per unit. So £2,000 there or whatever it was, before some guy would crash when I returned it. But yeah, so that's why I'm in so many groups. But yeah, best Discord group for A2A is for Amazon to Amazon is Aftermarket Arbitrage or Resale Concierge. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, cool. Right, we've got some questions here then. So we've got one from Expedition. Which shop or wholesale can you ungate perfumes like Amazon and accepts the invoice? Notino is probably your best bet. Notino. I'll put that in just the chat. Notino is a good one to do. So they give invoices. You can claim the VAT back. They've got most brands on there. So Notino, I've ungated plenty of brands on Notino. So, also guys, did you know, although many of you do know, some of you don't, you can ungate items on Amazon using Amazon invoices. So there's a tip for you. I recently did a video talking about this in my latest Amazon to Amazon video. I think it was the last sort of tip I mentioned it. But yeah, a Notino is probably the best one to go for when it comes to that kind of thing, when it comes to perfumes. What is a Saeed Kurishi? Sorry if I mispronounced that. I apologise. Has asked, what is a realistic Expedia of net profit percentage when doing online arbitrage? So what are you expecting to make in terms of a net profit? So we basically look to make, ideally we're looking when we buy items for 30% ROI is what we're looking for. As a general rule, I like to go a bit higher actually, because it gives you a bit of a cushion if the price comes down. But 30% is what people say. However, if I find a lead that I'm only making 10% ROI on, but I can sell 1,000 of these in a day. Let's say I can make £1 an item, and I can sell, let's say, 100 a day. I'm all day going to go for that basically. They're few and far between, and obviously you don't have much cushion there either. With 10% ROI as an example, if you're making £1, it doesn't take much for that price to come down, and then you're stuffed. So that's why it's good to have the higher ROI or better. For those kind of things. So yeah, it's but 30% is sort of the general rule. I'm running around 60% ROI right now, 65%. I'd have to look, something like that. But yeah, but 30% is where we look. So Alex has asked, does it matter if my 3 emails are under the same domain for different Amazon? I don't think so, no. I don't see why they'd catch on to that. I don't think they're looking that closely. I assume what you've done is you've got a domain, as a catch-all, whatever you call that, not catch-all. Yeah, it can be a catch-all. But yeah, I don't see why that'd be an issue. What I've done is I've just got a bunch of Gmail accounts. I got to the point where Google were not very happy with me. I've got so many accounts with Gmail. This is back from my NFT days, where I was creating hundreds and hundreds of Gmail accounts. Yeah, that's what I use as Gmail basically. But yeah, what you're doing should be fine. We've got another question here from Expedition. The fragrance shop, something if they give you invoice. Yes, Notino will give you an invoice, 100%. Unless they've changed it, which I don't think they have. So yeah, I've ungated many things with Notino. So that's assuming you're in the UK. So that's a UK shop, shipping to the UK. They do give you invoices, and you can ungate those invoices. Yeah, no problem whatsoever. Any more questions, guys? Let me just put a message out on another Discord group. Cool. Yeah, so what's another question then? I've got one here on my little list. Just give me a second. Just going to put this here just to get a few more people in. Right, someone asked me, do experienced VAT registered sellers tend to avoid sites that brick, like Notino, iHerb, Body Shop, Boots? So this is something someone asked in... I'll answer this one and I'll do your one card collectibles. And the answer is yes, we avoid sites, not because sometimes because they brick. Like iHerb does brick a lot. I don't think iHerb actually give a VAT invoices. That's the main reason once you're VAT registered for avoiding a site, is because they either don't issue an invoice, is one thing. 2, they don't actually pay VAT because they're not in the United Kingdom. A good example of this is Stylovana. That's in Hong Kong, I believe. They're not paying VAT to the UK government, therefore you can't claim the VAT back. So those are reasons to avoid those sites. And then I like sites like Notino, for example, I do buy from. They do tend to, the more popular sites do tend to brick, but you kind of need to buy for a specific season, or like perfumes for Q4, Christmas, or be willing to hold on to them for a while. And then the sites like Boots, which don't like to give invoices, and they ban you anyway really quickly. So Body Shop's a good one. There were some good deals on Body Shop. Again, have to hold a bit longer to some of the items, but that was good. Cool, we've got some questions here then. So card collectibles. When do you start sourcing products specifically for Q4? Well, the answer to that was January, because I bought some Lego in January. But when do I actually think about buying stuff realistically for Q4? I mean, I'm always looking year round. If I think, okay, that's a really good price, I can keep that for Q4. Obviously, storage becomes an issue. I do have a storage locker now, which I can put stuff in. It's not a huge storage locker. It's about the size of a shed, maybe a bit bigger. But yeah, but realistically, middle of the year, I'd say, is probably when I start looking. So August, September time, maybe. Sort of that kind of, not middle year, that's, around August time, I'd say, yeah. But yeah, that's kind of when I start looking, and that's when I bought some stuff last year around that time. Wish I'd bought more because I ran out of stock really quickly. But yeah, just being ready, keep an eye out. Basically, you know what's going to sell well at Christmas. Everything sells well at Christmas. Everything goes up in sales, but specifically certain things go up even more than others. So. Alex asked, what repricing rules do I use? So I've recently just switched from Seller Toolkit Repricer, which I've been using for several years, and I've just moved to Profit Protector Pro. Link in the description if you want to sign up to that. So it doesn't have rules necessarily. What it has is like these algorithmic settings. So you don't have to create like a specific rule set for them. It has a bunch of these different rules in there, and then it's like one would be like aggressive sale dominator, I think it's called, where it basically would just like do everything it can to get you a sale. That's maybe good if you're trying to clear items. And then I'm running something, I can't remember what rule I'm running. It's like a hybrid balance sale or something. I can't remember exactly. I have to have a look. But those are the sort of algorithmic pricing rules that I've got set on Profit Protector Pro. It's actually really good. Really good software. I should have changed it over ages ago. But the reason I like Profit Protector Pro of STK is STK is just rule-based. It's very basic. And it will just basically just try and match the bottom. That's essentially what it does. It tries to match the bottom and match the buy box, and that's pretty much it. And the rules I had set on SDK were basically just like 30% ROI was my standard. And then trying to think what else really. It was pretty basic, to be honest, because it's a basic tool. But Profit Protector Pro, and what it does, the good thing, reason I like Profit Protector Pro is it tests whether you can get the buy box at a higher price. So it doesn't just assume that the buy box is being, let's say an item's selling for $19.99, okay, and that's the lowest price on a listing, okay, but it might be that you can actually get the buy box at $24.99. So why would you always go to $19.99? You're better off letting the repricer test the price. It'll go to like $21.99, $22.99, and it'll go all the way up until you lose the buy box. So it might go all the way to $24.99. Notice you're still getting the buy box. Then it'll try $25.99. Notice that you can't get it anymore. So it'll go back down to $24.99. And therefore you're getting sales above the buy box price. So kind of important, really. Amazon doesn't always give the buy box to people with the lowest price. That's something very important to know. So I probably lost out on thousands of pounds because of SDK. And they're really basic repricing tools. So yeah, Profit Protector Pro. I've only recently switched over, and I'm really loving it. Basically, it's already made, according to what they are saying. I've made over £330 extra profit over the buy box in the sort of 2 weeks I've been using it. And I hadn't actually transitioned all of my items over yet. I'd only transitioned some of them because it takes a while to move over. That's one of the reasons I didn't move over before, is because it's just going to take me so long to move over. But yeah, so I don't like rule-based. Things have moved on in the past, basically. Rule-based reprices, I think, are the thing of the past. You want to use ones that are smarter than that have like AI and ML built into them, that are going to test Amazon's limits on how far you can push the price. And don't forget, it's like 80% of all sales are on the buy box. So if you're capturing the buy box at a higher price, then you're going to make more money. So simple as that. And people will still buy it. Because that's what the buy box price is. So, yeah, so give Profit Protector Pro a go. Link in description. I'm not just plugging it because I get affiliate link. I do. I actually use it myself, and I really like it. I wish I'd switched over not years ago. I mean, I've been staying for 2 years now, but I wish I'd started off on that one. But anyway, cool. Card collectibles. And for Q4, what are the best products? Toys, gift sets. So, everything goes up at Q4. So if anything, let's just say, I don't know, something random, I don't know, a headphone pair of headphones. If that sells 100 a month, normally, on average, in Q4 it'd be selling 300 a month. 200 a month, 300 a month. So everything like that goes up 2 or 3x in terms of sales volumes. Obviously, that means people sell out quicker, which means more likely to get higher prices. But then you've got specific items that just go through the roof, that go from like 50 sales a month to 800 sales a month. So it's like 20x or 10x or whatever. Perfumes. I mean, think about what do you buy for your mum and your dad and your sister and your brother, whatever, for Christmas? What do they buy you? Just think about that kind of stuff. Perfumes do really well. Gift sets, so little, beauty gift sets are good, or any kind of gift set like that. Toys and video games. Obviously, what does a 14-year-old boy want apart from a 14-year-old girl? They like video games. Consoles, iPads. Not that you can sell iPads, but that's the kind of, they want tech. They want video games, that kind of thing. That kind of stuff. Really, just a bit of common sense really on that one. But yeah, everything goes up. There's some specific stuff, can't talk, that just goes up through the roof. And yeah, for me, perfumes, gift sets, toys, video games. I'm trying to think what else really. Can't think of anything else, but I'm sure there's loads of stuff I'm missing out on. And don't forget as well, like clothing probably does pretty well. Like, you're coming into winter, so like someone might want a new jacket, a new coat, pair of gloves. I don't know really, like beanie hats, anything really. Cool. So hopefully that answered that anyway. I've only been through one Q4 properly, so technically I've been through 2 of them, but my first one, I was chucking it down outside, weather's all over the place. My first one, I was transitioning from Sole Traders Limited, and it basically took Amazon 72 days to convert my account over, so I kind of limited my sales. So I didn't go through a proper Q1 in my first year, but last year I did numbers basically, and I got COVID as well, and that cost me loads of money because I could have restocked more, but I don't want to go out and infect everyone. So cool. Expedition has asked, do you do wholesale or just retailers? I don't do any wholesale at all. I've never done wholesale. I have signed up to a few wholesalers, the online ones, and their prices were terrible, absolutely terrible. So I've never had any luck looking into wholesale. I'll be honest, I've barely tried. From what I understand, wholesale is just high volume, low margins, which is not really my cup of tea, really. But, I do know some people that do dominate on wholesale and make 30 grand a month. So they've got some really good wholesale leads. But I also know people who are struggling with wholesale. So I don't do any wholesale myself. I think it's a good thing to get into if that's kind of your business. But you need to be VAT registered for one if you want to get into wholesale. Because if you try and register a decent wholesale account without being VAT registered, they're going to laugh you off the phone basically. Next thing you need to do is you need to be hitting the phones, calling up loads. Expect that every 100 calls you make, you're only going to get one success. It's a lot of work basically, and then the best ones you're going to have to call consistently over time, and they're going to say no at first, keep track of them, call them 6 months later, 3 months later, try and build up a relationship. It's all about relationships and stuff. So it's a totally different business model. I'm not an expert at it. I just know what I've learned from watching YouTube videos, but yeah, it's not my expertise at all, wholesale. So we've got next question. So I just do online arbitrage basically, and retail arbitrage. So card collectibles. Would you say SAS was better for scanning or Buybot Pro? I mean, they both have their advantages. I think it depends what we're talking about, on the go or like on the computer. They both have their advantages and disadvantages. I think Buybot Pro has a really good app for when you're out and about. It's a really nice, UI. So when you're out and about scanning things, it looks really nice. It's easy. It tells you basically whether it's a good deal or a bad deal right away. So that's really kind of like that's good, to be honest, in terms of that. CellerAmp, I think, has benefits as well. I think CellerAmp's a little bit quicker when it comes to like scanning stuff, which can be advantageous for like Amazon to Amazon maybe. But at the same time, I prefer Buybot Pro for other things as well. So, you know, it's got a nice island that pops up on the screen on Chrome. So yeah, there's benefits to both basically. I just go with what your preference is. I do use both because they both give me advantages. So I like the Buybot Go app when I'm out and about. Just because once you've got it set up, basically tells you right away if something's a good buy or not. And if you want to subscribe to either of those, link in the description. Sorry. Anyway, stop plugging these things. So Aaron has asked, and thanks for the questions, guys. I appreciate these questions. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. This is your free coaching session. You know, ask me anything you want about Amazon. So anything at all. What sort of money are you spending a month? That's a good question. So what did I spend last month? I think last month I spent 30. No. Oh, I really should know this, but I kind of don't. I know I had a big splurge last month because I was it was the end of my VAT return period. So what did I spend? I think I spent between 35 and 40,000 last month. On average, I probably spend 30,000. I'd say 25 to 30. Difficult to say exactly. I'm kind of bad at keeping track. I'm kind of naughty when it comes to the admin. I'm not the best. But yeah, somewhere between 25 and 30 is probably an average month for me. And yeah, I wish I could spend more, but I just don't have like as many leads as I'd like, and I'm too busy doing other things to source more than that. So that's probably where a VA might become useful potentially. But yeah, so those are the kind of the money I spend basically. And just to be perfectly clear, so I make roughly about £10,000 a month profit. I've been doing this for 2 years. I did start with, I think it was 30k in terms of capital, but it might have been 40, something like that. 30 to 40, I think, is what I started with. So just to, you know, I started off with a good amount of capital, which certainly helped get started. But you can still start with less, you know. Start with what you can. I started with that. So I think it was 30k. I can't remember exactly. But you can still start with 1,000. I've made an entire video, if you check out my channel, where I say exactly how you should start with £1,000 or less. There's a specific video for that because I think that's going to hit the majority of sort of people. Most people can probably get together £1,000 or less. But yeah, so. What does expedition mean? Game over. I don't know what you mean by that. But yeah, so there's a great video for that anyway. So I talk about the strategies for that. I think actually starting with £1,000 or less is the most difficult thing to do, but you got to persevere, you got to push through, and yeah. You know, it's hard. It's not easy. It's not an easy business, this. So anyone who says it is lying. It is not an easy business. However, I don't know any business that you can, let's say, start with, say, £30,000, £40,000 and end up making £10,000 a month in 2 years, less than 2 years. And I know people who make more than that, much more. So I'm pretty mid when it comes to the profits for compared to some people. So yeah, if you guys got any more questions, please put them in the chat. But yeah, wowzers, Aaron says. So Expedition is asking, how hard is it to find these leads? I'd say when you first start, it's very difficult because it's hard to know what to look for, which is why I like people joining Discord groups, because you can kind of see what people sell. So one I recommend, AMA or RC. Two good ones, or Mental Picks is another really good one for doing retail arbitrage. And there you can just ask people questions and stuff, but you can also learn about what sells, what people are sourcing, how they've sourced it, what a good lead looks like versus a bad lead. So that's why I really like Discord groups for that. Discord groups definitely have their negative problems as well, but that is a good reason to join them, is to learn that kind of stuff. That's how I started. Joined 2 or 3 Discord groups, binged YouTube videos, and just learn by doing, basically. But those are the kind of 3 ways that I learned. And then, when you first start, it's going to be difficult, and then you just have to get better, basically. Yes, you just basically need to pick a good site, and you'll know what these sites are, because if you join a Discord group, they're going to post leads in certain sites. You're going to go, oh, this site here, Latino, gets a lot of leads coming out there, so maybe I should search there. Always certainly helps to search a site where you know there's a lead already. That way, it doesn't get disheartened. So, and it's, again, like anything in this world, it takes practice. So, yeah. And yeah, you can basically get away with, once you've got more experience, you can get away with basically sourcing from 5 or 10 websites. And this is the other thing why I advocate specifically choosing a category that you're interested in. So, maybe it's going to be gardening and outdoor. Well, then you can learn all the sites that sell gardening and outdoor tools. You can learn when the sales cycles are. So you've got like B&Q, Screwfix, all those different ones. You can learn when they do the sales, and you can keep checking those sites over and over. You'll start to see the patterns of when the sales happen, what items do well, what items don't, what brands do well, what brands don't do well. And you'll become an expert, basically. But you need to look at specific categories, in my opinion. Pick 2 or 3, basically, and become good at them. And just practice. And you just check them over and over, and you learn what the brands are. You'll learn what the sales are. Maybe B&Q do a sale every 3 months. Where they do a 30% off. You can go on then, see what's on sale, buy all your stock for the next 3 months, or whatever, if you can. You've got the money for it. If not, it doesn't matter. Buy what you can, and then sell, and then rinse and repeat, basically. Hopefully that answered your question. But yeah, it's not easy. It takes practice and perseverance. It's not the most exciting thing, sourcing, but it gets easier over time. And then don't also forget as well, let's say you're buying a drill, for example. You bought a drill in January, and 50 quid, you're able to sell it for 100 quid. You know that's a good lead now. You can always keep an eye on that one. So you've got a replenishable item. So you can always check back on that particular item that you've bought, and hopefully it will replen sometime in the future. Aaron is asking, are you doing a mix of RA and OA? I do, say, 90 to 95% OA, so online arbitrage, and 5% retail arbitrage. I do more retail arbitrage. Well, if there's a big sale on, I'll go out, but generally I don't go out that often. Around Q4, I will do more retail arbitrage because there's more opportunities. Like, you can go and buy like a box of chocolates in Sainsbury's for £5 and sell it for 20 quid on Amazon, as an example. There's other deals on. Recently I was selling some Easter eggs, not that successfully, to be honest. But yeah, and I bought those from Asda. But mainly I'd say it's 90-10, basically. 9% OA, 10% RA, if you looked at my entire year. But I've not been out to a shop and bought anything in ages. So Cool Card Collectibles has asked, would you say a repricer is necessary for new accounts, or is it more for seasoned sellers? I'd say it's necessary pretty much almost right away, because it becomes a nightmare to kind of check your items and make sure that you're pricing it correctly. So I'd say if you've got more than 5 SKUs, 5 items in Amazon, get a repricer. It's pretty cheap as well. I think it's like 20-30 quid a month. I can't remember what the price is. Yes, if you got somewhere between 5 and 10 SKUs, I'd say, any more than that, I'd start getting a repricer, because otherwise you're going to have to be sat there every hour making sure that you're, most of the time, let's be honest here, you're going to have to match the bottom to get a sale. I'm not denying that whatsoever. There are certain scenarios where the repricer, like Profit Protector Pro, can push it up, but not on all listings. Depends on how many sellers there are, what the item is, sales velocity. It all depends, basically. And are you going to try and figure that out yourself? It's impossible, really. So that's why you need the repricer to stay on top of these things. And if it's just a basic, bog standard, boring listing where all the sales are going to the bottom seller, and you'll notice what's going to happen. Every single seller undercuts by a penny. This is how it always happens. Penny down, and before you know it, the prices drop. So if you're not matching those prices, then you're going to miss out on sales. So you want your repricer, and that's what often repricers are doing, is just rematching people's bottom price. So you might be selling it for $19.99, and they go to $19.98, and then the repricers all automatically catch in. So repricing down a penny is pointless. You maybe got the buy box for a few minutes, at most, before all the reprices kick in and go down. But I would literally say. And when you're finding it being a chore, and you're going to get more sales, basically, you're going to make more money than the 20-30 quid it costs a month. I can't remember what Profit Pro cost, probably £30 a month, but you're going to have to. I think it's 100% necessary. I think it's really important, actually. 100%. So Exhibition says yes. The problem is finding good deals, but like a new seller, you are ungated. So just get ungated. Ungating is really easy. I've got an entire video talking about that. Check out my channel. I talk about ungating. You will find as a new seller, certain brands are very difficult to ungate, or you cannot sell them at all. So like when I started Amazon, I bought a load of Tommy Tippy baby feeding bottles, and I jumped through all the hoops to ungate those. And Amazon, after I'd ungated like baby feeding, after I'd ungated Tommy Tippy, I think there was one more, but maybe not. They basically said, "Oh no, even though you've ungated them, you can't sell this category." But then, a few weeks later, a month later, I was ungated on it. It's basically certain categories are restricted for new sellers, like baby feeding is restricted to new sellers. That makes perfect sense. It's a sensitive area. So, but you just need to ungate. You need to buy 10 of that brand. Doesn't even have to be the same item, just be 10 of that brand, and then you can ungate. So it's part and parcel of it. When you first start out, you're not ungated much, but you just got to get through it, basically. Simple as that. It's not complicated. It's not difficult. It's just do it. Pretty simple. I've got a video. Check out my channel. It will tell you how to do it. So Aaron, do you set up multiple accounts for the same retailer? I'm not spending lots, but I've been banned from several retailers. So which retailers have you been banned from? That's a good question. I bet is one of them Boots or something. I don't know, or Argos. So you can do multiple accounts, but then you need depending on which sites there are, you need to be then doing like different IP address, different browser, different computer, different email, different card, different name. It becomes trickier when you're VAT registered because you need the billing address to be your actual business name and address. You can't just make some shit up, otherwise you won't be able to claim the VAT back, so that becomes more tricky. But basically what happens is if you're on a site that doesn't like resellers, and there's quite a few of them out there, you just don't order from them anymore. Simple as that. So Boots is a great beginner website. Every beginner buys from Boots, but then you soon realise, after you order just a few orders, that they don't like resellers, and you just can't order from them again. And I've not ordered from Boots in, I don't know, over a year or longer, year and a half, and I'm basically banned on there. I think I can't even order a single item for myself. It's ridiculous now. I think I tried to buy a bottle of perfume there for myself, and they cancelled the order. So that is one way around it. You can do multiple accounts, but I'd say if unless the deal's so amazing on there, I'd basically just avoid that site. But let us know what sites you've been banned on. I'd be interested to know. Just go to places that actually like your business. I spent 25 grand on one website. They were fine with that. So Boots and Smiths, okay. I've not actually been interesting Smiths. I've not been banned from Smiths actually. I don't actually necessarily buy much from there, but Boots is really strict. They're super strict. They don't even like you ordering more than 6 items at a time, and they just so you just don't buy from them anymore. And then Smiths, I've not heard people getting banned from Smiths, but I can see why. Multiple accounts could work with Smiths. Spread your orders out a bit. Don't just do loads in one go. Use different cards. You can go and collect in Smiths as well. You can go and buy in the store. If you've got a store near you. If these deals are so good, you want to buy from them. But but then I say once you become more experienced, you're going to realise you're going to need to get a VAT invoice, and these places just don't. Well, I think Smiths does actually give invoices, but Boots do as well, but they make you really chase for it. It's just not worth it. So, any more questions, guys? We've got 21 more minutes. This is your chance to ask any question you want. And yeah, get some good knowledge about Amazon. I see there's been a few Amazon to Amazon pings while we've been chatting. Let's have a look. But yeah, so cool, right. What's another question? How many people are on here, by the way? Let's have a look. But yeah, throw your questions in, boys. Got 8 concurrent viewers. That's amazing. I really appreciate you guys joining me. I really do. Yeah, thank you for coming on and asking questions. So, Aaron, what website did you drop 25k at? You can ask me anything, but I don't know if I'll answer it. It's a big retailer. That's all I'm going to say. But I can't tell you which one it is. I just don't want people to jump onto my stuff. But yeah, it was a big retailer. So you'll find them as you go. You'll find that some sites like you ordering or don't mind you ordering lots of stuff, and others do. And you just avoid the ones that don't. If companies don't want your money, then just don't give them your money, basically. Simple as that. I mean, it's just crazy, really. But the other thing as well is you'll notice, I think, more in... Another reason I don't like health and beauty is that specifically the brands have told these companies that they're not allowed to sell more than X amount a day to a customer. Like, as a good example, La Roche-Posay specifically said to all of the retailers that they could only sell 6 items per customer per day of La Roche-Posay. Now, you can't sell that brand anymore on Amazon anymore, or Vichy either. But yeah, and I think Vichy had a 6 limit as well. So another reason, I don't like health and beauty is because those brands are very strict when it comes to order limits. They also tell the retailers like Boots that you're not allowed to sell items. So Lewis is laughing. Yeah. That you're not allowed to sell to resellers. So yeah, health and beauty, beauty ones like Clinique, La Roche-Posay, Vichy, all those guys are really strict on resellers. So another reason I don't like health and beauty. Nah, it's all good. You can ask. There's no point me telling you because yeah, it wouldn't help anyway, really. Let's put it like that. But yeah, pick a category that you enjoy. I think is a good one to go for, and go into that. Yeah, any more questions, guys? If you've got any questions, throw them in the chat. So another question someone asked me on Discord while you guys are posting your dozens of questions in there in the chat. As a follow-up to the previous one about VAT-registered sellers. Do VAT-registered sellers avoid sites where the max purchase quantity is low, where you can order like 2 or 3 units at a time? And I think the answer probably is generally yes. Mainly because when you're VAT registered, there's a lot of paperwork involved. You have to get the VAT invoice, submit it to your accountant, that kind of thing. It's okay if you can just download it from the website, which some sites do, but other sites make you email them, chase them for a VAT invoice. It's a bit of admin work, a bit of hassle. And if you're only buying 2 or 3 of an item and you're only making, let's say, £1 an item or £2 an item, it's so not worth it. So for me, I think the minimum really is like I need to be making sort of £20 profit. So if I can buy 3 items and I'm making, say, £7 profit each, I'd probably go for that. 7 times 3, 21. I'd probably do that. But yeah, if it's but otherwise I probably wouldn't. And I was also asked about prep centers as well. So I use 2 prep centers. I have just signed up to a new one actually. But the one I currently use is FA Prep UK. And I've actually got an affiliate link for that, but I don't have it on me. But yeah, that's the one I use. Quite expensive, but they're pretty good. They asked me anyway, if for prep centres, if we send 50 units but only 40 fit in a box, do the other 10 stay until the next box is full? And the answer to that was, you can tell them what you want. You're the boss, remember. So you can specifically specify whether they should hold back the stock until they've got more items to send in a box, or whether you urgently want them sent in. You're the boss. You can tell them what to do, basically. Card collectibles, can't think of any more. But yeah, no problem. That's no problem at all. Cool, yeah, no problem. Yeah, good questions there, card collectibles. I appreciate it. So, card collectibles, how are you doing in your Amazon FBA business? What kind of revenue and profits are you looking at on a monthly basis? And what have you had the most success with, category-wise? I'd be interested to know. Let us know in the chat. But yeah, in terms of prep centers, and prep centers are a sort of natural thing that most people eventually move in onto. They do cost money, but and some. I mean, I don't always use a prep center. I probably should do. But yeah, that's a natural way to kind of free up your time and pay someone else to prep, but it does kind of cost quite a lot. So, Aaron, what are 3 things you wish you knew 18 months ago? I wish I knew to be more patient when it came to waiting for prices to come back. So, look at the history on Keeper of a product and just see what the kind of price used to be. And just be patient and wait 3 months or so or more if you need to for the prices to recover. Obviously, on a case by case basis, you need to do that. But yeah, you need to just be patient, I think, is one thing I wish I knew. What's another thing? Understanding how the buy box works. And I've done a whole video on this. Like, that's a video that went well under the radar, but I dropped so much knowledge in that video. It was insane. I thought I was giving away all the secrets, and I thought people would be upset with me, but no one watched it. But yeah, I've got a video about the buy box. It's called like Dominate the Buy Box or something. I can't remember. But yeah, there's so much more to the buy box than just price, so that's a really important thing as well. And I mean, I'm on some listings, by the way, guys, where I've got 98% of the buy box, 100% of the buy box, and there's other sellers on there, but I've got it crushed. There's other ones where I've got 0% because it's very hard for me to break into it, but there's more to it than just the price. So that was a very important. Oh no, Car Collectibles retracted his message. Hopefully, he was dropping some good knowledge there. But yeah, buy box. Understand the buy box more. Check out the video on my channel on that one. Being patient as well. And the third one, I wish I knew. Interesting question. I would think about the third one, but yeah, interesting. Because I put quite a lot of knowledge in that buy box one. That's an interesting one. I guess it's a kind of a boring one. It's just around knowing how all the VAT and stuff works, I guess, and being on top of admin. Pretty boring. I'll think of a better answer. But yeah, just I guess knowing how to source is a good one. But mainly it's just around being patient with prices, understanding how the business works on Amazon. Okay, actually I've got an answer here. Third one is understanding about sales cycles, things like that. So knowing when certain websites go on sale, have certain brands on sale, is a good one. Learning about seasonality as well. And it's just the big one as well is totally underestimating how big Q4 was and how powerful, and not powerful, but how crazy Q4 was. I totally underestimated it for 2023 and ended up selling out most of my stuff in end of November, and I could have made way more money in December. So yeah, if you imagine how big Q4 is going to be and double it, triple it, because it's just crazy. It's freaking nuts. You can make a year's salary in like 1 month in December. You can make 30 grand, 40 grand, no problem, if you've got the right items in stock. So yeah, those are the things I'd say I wish I knew 18 months ago. Aaron says he'll check out that buy box video. Yes, please do. I'll drop some good knowledge in there. Oh, cool. Car Collectibles Demi. Awesome. Glad to have you here. You're a valuable member of the Discord. You're always asking some good questions, so thanks for coming on. I think we've got 105 members in FBA Moguls right now, so I'm hoping to get this to be a nice big Discord group where people help each other out. People can ask questions, people answer them, post results, motivate each other, help each other out. That's the main goal. So with that that sort of Discord group, I can drop some knowledge in there as well when I get time. But cool. Right, so yeah, guys, any more questions? We've got sort of 12 minutes left. If you guys have got any questions at all, feel free. I'm trying to think of any other fun stuff I can talk about. Yeah, go and check out that buy box video. It's the Buy Pro. Yeah, Buy Pro. After switching to this, I mean, yeah, both of them have got their benefits. So it comes down to your own preference. Both got benefits. Both of them have got downsides. I think it has a free trial, so use my link in description. Check it out. I'm 90% sure it's got a free trial, so you can test it out and see which one you prefer. So Aaron asked, what's the biggest mistake I made along the way? I've made so many mistakes, and some of them have well, they've all probably cost me money, but other ones have. So my worst purchase was I bought some Triton shower holders that ended up tanking in price massively. I totally didn't know about understanding the keeper chart. Ended up having to throw those down the tip, basically. So there's about £1,000 worth of stock. Just because every time I sold one on Amazon, it didn't help that Amazon sent me the wrong items. They refused to take them back. So every time I sold them on Amazon, even at a loss, £3 or £4 loss, they were getting returned to me, and I was incurring more fees. And in the end of it, I just chucked them down the tip. But I'd say another mistake I made, again, kind of goes back to those sort of three things I wish I knew, is that being more patient with the price. I had some great items that I bought, like electric toothbrushes, things like that, which I got for great prices. And I just sold them too quickly. I should have held out for the best possible price, but I was just like, oh, I'm still making like £70 profit a toothbrush or whatever, but I could have made £100. So in that regard, I still made money on them, but I could have made that little bit extra. And that's what a lot of Amazon's about, I think. And when you become more experienced, you can learn how to squeeze every penny out of a product. And again, that kind of comes down to experience, understanding the history of the item. Obviously, it helps to have a little bit of money behind you as well. If you can hold the items a little bit longer to get that most profit, and also comes down to having a good repricer as well. So Profit Protector Pro, having that kind of item which is going to, push the buy box to its limit and get you the most money. So those are probably the biggest mistakes I've made. I'm trying to think what else I've done that I've totally messed up. Yeah, those are probably just the two big ones, I guess. Getting into health and beauty was a mistake. Shouldn't have done that. I've got a pile of returns and restricted items and stuff that's been returned to me just piled up everywhere that I need to sell. Oh, stay on top of your returns as well. That's another thing. I've got that box down. I keep pointing the wrong way. That box. What is wrong with me? That box down there. It's really like we're looking at a camera. That box down there has got full of returns, I think it is. And I've got another 4 or 5 like it, maybe more than that, of just returns that I can't be bothered to deal with. So, that's the downside of Amazon is returns. A lot of it's cosmetic stuff, things like that I just need to sell at some point. So not staying on top of returns. But I think that's it in terms of mistakes. But you need to make the mistakes. I mean, you learn more from your failures than you do your successes. So it took me a long time to realise that I thought I was doing the right thing with those electric toothbrushes that I got for really cheap, because I was making so much money on them, but I could have made more money. So that was a fun time. That was Lloyd's Pharmacy were fire selling all their stock. It was and this is another reason to be in a Discord group, because you've got so many people in there. You can know about this kind of stuff. And it was an old group that shut down now, but they were alerted us to this big sale at Lloyd's Pharmacy, and they were basically fire selling all their stock, because at Lloyd's Pharmacy were basically getting out of selling anything but pharmaceuticals. So they had Oral-B toothbrushes that were £200. They just reduced down to £30. So they were selling for £200 all day on Amazon and went down to 30. Every time they restocked, the price came down. So they had some. It was a crazy time, to be honest. There was so much money to be made. It was just insane. I think overall, all the stock on there was probably worth well over £1 million of profit. Maybe more actually, maybe £2 million of profit. They went on to that Discord group, and I was still new, so I was like, oh, should I order 10? I was like, oh yeah, that was crazy. It was a crazy time, to be honest. But I don't know what was going on there, but it was nuts. And they were fire selling. Another great one they were selling all perfumes for £5. So it was Jean Paul Gaultier, £5 a bottle. All that kind of stuff was £5 a bottle. So we were all racing to buy the stock before it sold out. And there was no quantity limit as well. They didn't give a crap how much you ordered. They didn't care. So yeah, I really pissed off the Every guy, the Hermes guy, because he used to come with so much stuff delivered. And he was getting really annoyed. Cool, right. Cool, we've got some good questions here. So John has asked, have you considered selling digital items? I don't know what you mean by what exactly specifically digital items. I did a Udemy course ages ago, many years ago, about how to use an Apple computer, essentially, the OS, Mac OS. I am thinking of making an Amazon FBA course, potentially. I'm thinking about doing a mentoring program, which is not really digital. I've written software before. I guess that you can consider that digital, like a SaaS, software as a service. But yeah, I don't. But yeah, if you've got any specific examples, that'll be of digital items. So Aaron asks, have you tried the STK repricer? Yes, I talked about that at the beginning of the video. I used to use STK for a year and a half or so, maybe nearly 2 years now, but I've only just recently moved over to Profit Protector Pro. Link in the description. I use that as my new repricer, and I'm very happy with it because it gets me more money. It reprices way better than STK. STK is old, outdated software, in my opinion. It used to be the gold standard, but the guy has made too much money. This is my opinion. He's made too much money from it because everyone used it. He's not updated it or improved it in ages, and it's just things have moved on since then. So there's now way better softwares out there for repricing, like Profit Protector Pro. There's way better inventory systems out there, like Sellerboard, or Skewify is another one as well. Link in the description for both of those, I think. But yeah, so times have changed. If you write software, you can't just let it sit. You need to keep improving it. So Card Collectibles asked, on holding out for good prices, do you consider it would be more profitable to hold longer term for a higher price than a quick flip and reinvest? That is a tricky one. Like, if you have an item you can see on your screen is like available to buy now, and you can make 30% ROI on it, you're just waiting on that cash, then yes, chuck that on an AMX. Get the other one sold on Amazon rather than trying to hold out for the extra 5-10% ROI. Get it sold, and then you use that money once the AMX bill comes in. So yes, if you've got a specific item ready to buy, or you can source an item, you can make say 30% ROI as an example, then yes, get it sold for a lower. So if you've got limited capital, get it sold, get the money back, get it reinvested. But there's no point doing that if you've got nothing to buy. So that's very important. And this is where like an Amex can help a little bit, or a credit card of some description. Not financial advice. Don't advise you do this without talking to a financial expert or whatever. Don't go crazy, but it can help bridge that gap between sort of the Amazon payout and buying new stock. It can help you grow, and you can leverage that money. John. I will be looking to make a course, John. An FBA course, because I feel like I've got a lot of knowledge to give out. I make 10k a month now, so there's a lot of knowledge there that I can give out to people. That'll be probably the next thing I make. Would be like some sort of course. I don't know how much I charge for it. So I just have signed up myself to a private label course. So I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I know what I'm talking about when it comes to online arbitrage, retail arbitrage. That's what I'm good at, basically. I don't know anything about wholesale, really, and I don't know anything much about private label. So I've just signed up to a private label course. It cost me a lot of money. It was like 3,200 quid, something insane. But, that's going to be money well spent, because I'm going to make multiples, 10, 20, 100 times more than that, doing private label as well. So, but that's not my expertise. So, I'm in a fortunate position where I can pay for that knowledge. And I find if you've got the money and you can pay for the knowledge, pay for it. So I will be making a course, basically, but it won't be $3,000, so don't worry about that. It'll be way less. So, I'll be looking to make a course like that. And I'm also doing mentoring as well. So I think, as I mentioned to people in my Discord group, I'll be doing mentoring for some people, maybe for free to begin with, and then maybe doing a paid one. So I noticed some guy in the Discord group has just posted his results. Shmi, hope that's how you pronounce your name, has just posted his results. Month to date, he's on £3,250 profit. Crazy to see. So awesome. That's not too far off me, to be honest. Cool, awesome, guys. Well, I appreciate you coming on. We've got time for 1 or 2 more questions if you've got anything to ask before we call it a day. I don't mind going over if someone's got some good questions. But the main thing you need to do is just keep working hard, keep hustling, get a good schedule going. Make sure you're sourcing every day if you can. Get good at sourcing specific sites, learn the sales cycles, work hard, ask questions, be curious, always be learning. Get onto YouTube. There's so many good YouTubers out there that I watch. So I'll just give you some help. So Nikos is a great guy to watch. Nikos Marco. It's a great YouTuber to watch. He's a UK guy. And then specifically from America, where you can pick up some really good knowledge, is Buy Box Bandits. Is fantastic. So watch that, guys. It's a podcast where they interview sellers. They're all American, but you can still pick up loads of knowledge there. I used to just listen to those in my car. I've probably been through 60-70% of them, and there's like 300 episodes. There's Duke Does Amazon is another good one as well on Amazon on YouTube. Sorry, Duke Does Amazon, and I think there's another one as well. But those are the main guys that I watch. And then from the Buy Box Bandits, there's a guy called Flip for Miles. He does got a good channel, and a guy called Garrett as well. Flip for Miles, by the way, is the guy that part owns Seller Amp. But yes, there's lots of knowledge on YouTube, and those are the guys that I gravitated towards, personality wise and knowledge wise. But you might prefer some other people. But yeah, there's a lot of knowledge out there, guys, on YouTube that you can watch and get. And then join the Discord group. You've got my free one you can join, link in description, or you can join Aftermarket Arbitrage or Mental Picks or Resale Concierge. You can ask people questions in there. That's the power of those things. For £50 a month, whatever they cost, or Mental Picks is £80 a month. You can basically just ask all the members in there questions, and you should get good answers to your questions. So for when people like me aren't doing live streams. But yeah, guys, really appreciate you guys coming on. Thanks very much for asking some good questions there. It was a good session, and Aaron said he loves PTT. Yeah, so he used to be called Part-Time Thrifter, but he's now just called Nikos Marco because he does it full time now. So he's not part time. So he kind of dropped that. I still search him by Part-Time Thrifter, but yeah, he's a good guy. He's mainly doing private label now, but he used to be really into doing like retail arbitrage, online arbitrage. He still does that stuff, but he's mainly private label now. But yeah, he's a good guy. Got some really good knowledge. I do a sort of podcast with him every 2 weeks. Where we just talk about finances and Amazon and random life stuff, which is always good. There's always some knowledge dropped in there as well. But yeah, guys, just be curious and keep learning. Thanks, guys, for coming on anyway. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one, probably in 2, 3, 4 weeks. Depends how frequently you guys want me to do this.